All right, everyone, welcome to another special episode of Smile You're on Camera, hosted by yours truly, Lourenzo Smith, coming live from LA. Today we have another special guest, a friend of the show, very special guy, Roy Lenzo, coming from New Jersey. Roy, go ahead and introduce yourself to the listeners and viewers.
What's going on? Roy Lenzo. Actually from Long Island. Um,
My
well,
bad, my bad.
no, you're good, you're good. Yeah, pretty much like producer, engineer. Out of New York, now out in Cali. Um, so yeah, it's honestly like pretty much it. Like, how in depth do you want me to go?
No, I got you. I thought you was from Jersey because everyone in your group is from Jersey. So
Yeah,
thought,
literally.
thought y'all all native. So you went to school for music?
Yeah, I went to Five Towns College on Long Island,
Okay.
which is like pretty much like they have like a business program where you major in business, you concentrate in audio production and stuff like that. So yeah, small school on Long Island, but it's pretty good.
Hey, it turned out right because look at where you at now. So you went to college. How did you meet? So I'm gonna fast forward. How did you meet your group that you signed to now?
So in college, my buddy Janai Clark, he after school he interned at Platinum Recording Studios in Manhattan.
Hmm.
Day trip ended up having a session with Wiz Khalifa one day, and Wiz was kind of I guess running late or whatever happened. So uh, my buddy Ja and Day trip started connecting, whatever. Now fast forward like 3 months later, they were like, "Yo, like you're actually like fire at like making beats. You want to just come work for us?" So Ja left there, went to Day Trip Studio in Soho, and
Hmm.
then they just started like networking, like connecting, whatever. And then like maybe 2 months after that, I finished school, and Ja was like, "Yo, bro, come to the studio, like just hang out, whatever." And I was like, "All right, yeah, this is like fire. Like everyone, like there's a couple rooms, everyone's producing fire shit, like whatever." And Ja's like, "Yo, like we need an engineer." So I was like, "All right, you know what? Like I engineered at the time, so I was like, whatever." I fucking started engineering for them,
Hmm.
and then eventually I just started producing on records with them and like just networking through being there, sleeping at the studio, like all this crazy shit. And then like eventually they just got me a deal with Universal.
That's
So
amazing. I remember meeting you, and I walked in. I was like, "Oh, everyone's super chill in here." And from there, we kind of like built a bond, and we were like the normal guys. Whenever the A-listers would come in, I feel like, "Oh, all right, I could talk to Roy because I know they're going to be on their Hollywood shit over there."
oh yeah.
So how did you perfect your craft in mixing? Because you started mixing some of the craziest records at early stage in your career.
No, honestly, I think it's really from working with a lot of like honestly, I hate to say it, like just a lot of trash rappers
I got you.
that like it would take so long to get someone to sound really fucking good.
Hmm.
Where like I would have to pay attention to a lot of detail, fix their flows, like do shit. So then when you take that and do so much of that, and then work with someone that's actually like good and talented, it's just so much easier. And then you get to like expand off of what they did, not like try to fix things.
Gotcha.
Like and honestly, a ton of YouTube, really.
That's what I
Like
tell people. YouTube helps self-taught people because you obviously have an ear for music, but the actual going into like EQs and looking at the screens and all these
yeah.
frequencies and stuff, I feel like that comes with trial and error.
Yeah, like I remember in college, like one of my professors, like I'll never forget, he's like the dopest dude ever, like hilarious. Like after school, I would go to his office and then show him like a record that I was like producing or mixing, whatever, and then he would just literally like critique it. He would be like, "This is fucking trash. That kick sucks." Whatever. I'm like, "Yo, all right," but like honestly, from him doing that, like honestly made me learn to like have a better trained ear and like things like that, you know.
Gotcha. So would you recommend for up and coming artists to invest in better mixing or better beats?
Um, hmm. It's kind of a hard question
Hmm.
because there's people like XXX Tentacion who had a fucking record that
Oh,
with no mix.
yeah.
You know what I mean? The beat was like fire, like it was just very distorted. They had like a USB microphone, like really did nothing. That shit was, I don't know if it was a Billboard record, but I know that was
Oh
everybody
yeah,
knew.
no, 100. That was Billboard record.
So like that shit was crazy. And then you have like, it's kind of hard, but maybe like quality definitely helps for sure. Because if you're an R&B singer and you have a shitty mix, it doesn't matter how good the song is. Realistically, like
Yeah.
if you're out of tune, if fucking your vocals are buried or like your vocals are too loud, can't hear the beat, you know. So I think by genre, that
Yeah,
matters.
I got you. Okay. So with that, like, do you take that into any of the projects you're working on now?
Yeah, for sure. Like, you know, if I have pop records that I'm doing, I'll definitely make sure like the mix is like crystal clean, pristine, like as like high quality as it can get. Where like if it's a rapper, sometimes you don't want to have that sheen. You
I
kind of
got you.
want to be like a little bit more like on the duller side, a little bit. Like I remember I was mixing a ton of pop shit like in late 2018, yeah. And all of a sudden, me and Daytrip produced a song for IDK, and they were
Yeah.
like, "Oh, can you mix it for me?" Whatever. I was like, "Yeah, no problem." So I mix it, and then the song comes out, and it's not my mix. And I hit him up, and I'm like, "Yo, what's going on? Like, I'm a fan of you. Like, I produced on the song, and like whatever. But did you listen to my mix? Because I thought it was better." And he's like, "Yeah, you know, like the vocals were just too bright." And I was like, "What are you talking about? They're fine." But like, and I couldn't understand it at the time, but now like listening back, I understand what he was saying. Like
Gotcha.
my like the 808 was definitely hitting. Like I like the way like my kick sound, but the vocals were a little bright for a rapper.
Yeah. I
You
got.
know?
So that your ear from R&B transfer over to rap is it was colliding, and you had a.
Yeah,
I got you. So
yeah,
you speaking of people you work with, so I know you've probably worked with the roster of people. But I think one of the most people I think you get inspired me was working with Nas X because you
for sure.
guys worked on his debut project. How was that process?
Yeah. Honestly, it was really dope. I knew nothing about him really at the time. I don't think any of us did. No
Hmm.
one really expected like Old Town Road to do what it did. Um, and I just remember like um when we first met him, he came to the studio and like I let him in. Daytrip was in a meeting or whatever. So they were like, "Yo, can you go get him? He's outside." And I see him with this like fucking cowboy hat on and like fake jeans and shit. And I'm like, "Yo, what's good? I'm Roy. Like, nice to meet you." He came to the studio, barely said a word to me, like ever. And I just remember like sitting there vaping and he's like, "Yo, could you not vape in front of me?" I was like, "Oh my God, this guy's Hollywood already. Like the fuck." And then me and Daytrip and Russ Chell did that record Rodeo.
Hmm.
That was on the project. I remember this day specifically, and I was like a little tight, but not really at the same time. They were like, "Yo," like Nas was like, "Yo, can everyone just get out of the room?" And I was like, "Damn, I'm on this song too. Like the fuck, like." But that honestly, that record definitely like changed my life for sure. Like, definitely brought me to like different places, and now like we're working on his like debut album which is so fire. It's been like pretty much since early April we started this thing,
So
and
that COVID blessed y'all. Y'all were able to just lock in every day.
yeah, dude,
That's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah, it's so fire. And the thing about him is what I even noticed like 2 weeks ago. I was cutting a record with him, and Denz happened to like have a reference vocal
Hmm.
for like harmonies. So there's a ton of harmonies, like whatever, and I'm like, all right, and I was like, I would solo each one, and I would like solo it, let him hear it, and then I would like be like, okay, like it's like a long phrase that he had to sing, and all of a sudden he's like, all right, I got it. I was like, are you sure? Like, listen to it one more time, and he's like, nah, bro, just record it. And all of a sudden he kills it every time, and I thought this was gonna be like an hour, 2 hour process. Literally 15 minutes, he recorded the whole shit, and I was like, damn, like this kid's fucking super talented, very
Yeah.
high range. Like his lyrics are incredible. He's very like personable in his music.
Yeah, listen to that
Super.
project. It shows his range. Like he had the country, he had like extreme hip hop if you wanted that bag, and then he had his uh his normal music that he's making. You also, I remember last year, you had a song with Kid Cudi that he
Yeah,
did a snippet. How was that process? Were y'all in
yeah.
the lab together, or was that a send the files type vibe?
Yeah, So me and Day Trip ended up. That was one of the first beats I actually ever made with Day Trip.
Moving into stuff with you, we can talk about.
Yeah,
I know popular culture doesn't like this guy. I'm not a street guy. I call myself a civilian. I
yeah.
think you're a civilian too. What was it like working with 6ix9ine on that project? Because I know
Oh,
that was a group effort.
yeah, dude. Honestly, like I don't care what anyone says. Like he's hilarious, bro.
Yeah.
Like he's a genuine like good dude. Honestly, like even though like he won't know someone that well, if he like knows his homies close with this person, like he'll treat him like family type shit. Like um, it's just like hilarious. Like he'll like call you and just be like, "Yo, suck my dick," and then hang up the phone like that.
but,
Um,
but yeah, though I don't think, to me, I'll say this. I think the production that you guys put into that stood out than the project. I think
mhm.
that's why it did what it did. Because if it wasn't for the production, I think the project probably wouldn't have been successful at all.
Nah, appreciate that. Yeah, that shit. Honestly, it was just fun. Really, just like trying shit. He doesn't really like think too hard about it. Like if you send him something, if he fucks with it, he'll hop on it right then and there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he's honest with you. He'll be like, "Nah, I don't like this. I like that," or like give you references. So he's actually really easy to work with.
That's what's up.
Yeah, hell
So,
yeah.
what's it like in the music industry right now? Because I've spoken to a few people off air and like off in private, but like, what's it like for you guys? Because I know it's probably crazy.
Um, honestly, everything is just last minute. Like you just have to be like ready for anything. Like be
Yeah.
on standby essentially. Um, a lot of like networking with people, a lot of like people say there's a lot of bullshit. There is definitely bullshit, but honestly, like if you let the bullshit get to you, like it's all about having fun at the end of the day.
I got you.
Like working with your homies or finding people that you click with and just create shit and like you never know like what could happen. Like Mood from Ian Dior and 24K Gold, and like they were playing like a FIFA game. I'm pretty sure they like stopped playing, made Mood, went back to playing FIFA like nothing happened, and now it's fucking one of the biggest.
Songs ever. That's nuts. What we had this segment on the show. As a smile segment. What was something that this year happened that made you smile that you like to
Oh,
share?
ooh, damn. I actually, you know what? Really, the Cuddy snippet that when he was on Instagram Live, and I remember, my friends were like, "Yo, Cuddy's on live. He's like one of like the biggest Cuddy fans ever," and I was like, looking at all my homies that like live with me, and I'm just like, "Yo, imagine he plays this record. All of a sudden, I hear Roy Baby, and I was like, oh oh shit. And then like after all my homies are like DMing me, sending me the live, taking videos, like people in my town were going crazy because like we grew up listening to Cuddy.
Oh yeah,
So like that was just like definitely like top two for sure.
that's what's up. Yeah, I think that's probably life changing for anyone because growing up, I was telling my fiance today, like once you found out a bit about Kid Cudi, you start listening to the old mixtapes, A Kid Named Cudi,
Yeah.
'09 Freestyle, those days, like when he was like spitting and like hungry. I think that definitely changed how music is just made. Because if you think about it, everything sounded like that 808s and Heartbreak era. And I'm a Kanye stan, as you know, but I think
Yeah.
he has so much to do with like shifting Kanye's sound to making it way more like melodic and like open about what's going on because he was making graduation music and then
Yeah.
his life changed and then we got 808s and I was like, oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, hell yeah. And the thing I fuck with Cuddy is like I was never like a depressed child. I was
Oh
never
yeah,
anything, but like listening to him is like a totally different like perspective on like life and like how like he handles situations and like everything about him is like in like his mind. And it's just like insane like how he could be like such like a dark person and his music sometimes will sound happy but it's really dark.
yeah. Yeah, I remember hearing the first parts. I'm just like, I hope he's good, especially when I found out like his dad had passed. I was like, oh damn.
Yeah.
So some of these songs that's like we're partying to are super depressing.
Yeah. Even like day and night.
Yeah, day and night. I'm just like, oh, that's not about partying. That's literally about like
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have to go too much. But have you had a chance to meet him since you've been out here?
Nah, I haven't.
Gotcha.
I wish though soon.
Hopefully. I know he announced part 3 of the.
Oh, I'm ready.
I'm super excited. So hopefully you guys got to work on some of that. Hopefully, I'm putting that positive affirmation out there.
Oh yeah.
What's something you would tell your 18-year-old self after
Um,
working with all these big names, being signed to Universal, all the good stuff?
honestly, like just can like stop chasing like the bag really, and
Gotcha.
just make fun music with your friends. Like I remember when I was younger, I would work with like someone that was trash for
Hmm.
more money than someone that couldn't afford it but was fire.
I got you.
And like I definitely missed out on like fire opportunities just from that alone, or just like good relationships.
But I feel like that's something that made you to who you are now. Because in my past, I definitely wouldn't have taken photos of certain people, but I felt like they were more fire than someone that's like, yo, I'll pay you X% more than this person to come shoot for
But
my stuff that day. So I feel like that's lessons that we got to learn in life.
dude, yeah.
But yeah, before we get out of here, what's something you're looking forward to in the new year?
Um, honestly, being able to just go out freely, really. Um, but not honestly, just a. I feel like this year's been like big on like my change in like as a human, as
Hmm.
like a producer, as a creative. Um, honestly, like yeah, just really like since we've been locked in, just a ton of music that's just like on the hard drives that are just waiting to come out that I'm just like super excited about, and like I'm ready for it.
I got you. So the oh yeah, Nas' song came out.
Uh,
Holiday. That was bro. That video was nuts.
insane, insane, top five for sure.
I'm just like watching that. Like, wait, what? I don't want to know behind the scenes how they did it, but that just looked insane. What was it like being in the studio when that was cut? Just the record itself.
Dude, honestly, it was literally a party the whole time we were making that. The whole time, like we would just listen to like the hook on loop forever and just be dancing. Like I know soon there's gonna be mad videos of like that session coming out and it was definitely like not one session, it was a couple sessions, but it was
Yeah,
just every time we were playing that record, it was a party, literally.
I can only imagine in the cabin.
Yeah.
Well, Roy, thank you so much for joining us today. Tell the folks what you got working, like coming out, if you can share.
um, not sure when shit's dropping, but for sure look out for this new Nas stuff.
Gotcha.
It's gonna go crazy. Gonna go crazy for
Hey, all
sure.
right. Where can folks reach you?
Instagram, Roy underscore Lenzo. Same thing, pretty much on all platforms. Roy underscore Lenzo. Um, yeah, let's link.
You got a Spotify playlist you want to shout out or anything?
Nah, not actually. I don't. Not yet.
I'm advising all producers and stuff because sometimes us behind the scenes people we don't get the credit.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Make sure you portfolio your stuff.
Big facts.
All right, bro. Thank you so much for joining us today. Um, this will be out shortly. Thank you for everyone for listening and watching. Appreciate the support. Everyone have a blessed Thanksgiving.